Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to another edition of NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and a YouTube channel. WWE Survivor Series is this coming Sunday, live on pay-per-view. You can check out the coverage at NoDQ.com. I will be tweeting live during the pay-per-view, so go on twitter.com/NoDQDOTCOM and follow me. With that being said, let's get right down to your questions via FormSpring, or should I say spring.me/AaronRift. First one today comes from VKRX Skills. Hey Aaron, how did you like Xavier Woods' debut? And how did you like Rey Mysterio's return? I felt like those combined made Raw a good show itself. Yeah, I definitely think that Raw was an above average show this week. I'm not sure how successful they were in terms of building up Survivor Series and getting people excited about the show, but as far as just being a standalone Raw, being entertaining and all that, I felt that it was definitely a thumbs-up show. I really enjoyed Rey Mysterio's return. I thought that that was well done. He came out there at the end and cleaned house, and the baby faces were celebrating. I thought that that was tremendous. As far as Xavier Woods' debut goes, I felt that it was very solid. I think that Xavier Woods has a lot of potential. Now, keep in mind, I don't watch NXT, so this is, believe it or not, the first time I've seen him perform since he was in TNA as Consequences Creed. And I thought it was cool that him and R-Truth are reunited now. They were teaming together in TNA. And, you know, they're a good pairing. And I like his look. I like the afro and the mustache. And I like his finishing move. I think he stands out, and that's definitely a positive. So, so far so good with Xavier Woods, and we'll see how things go in the coming weeks with him. Next one today comes from WWE Fan 5. Hey Aaron, how long do you think Rey Mysterio will last this time? Well, I'm definitely hoping that he makes it to WrestleMania. Rey Mysterio has had some bad luck in recent years. He's gotten hurt. He's missed WrestleManias in the past and other major pay-per-views. So I'm hoping he stays healthy and has a good run this time. I'm a little concerned because there were some reports, there were eyewitness accounts that he was limping after Raw ended, and I hope he didn't get hurt already. But, you know, Rey Mysterio is a guy who keeps bouncing back and seems determined to stay in the business and stay active. So, you know, I'm rooting for the guy. I hope that he can stay healthy, and, you know, definitely would be cool to see him get in the mix with the Shield and the Wyatt family, and you know, those could be some really good matches between those guys. So yeah, hopefully Rey Mysterio is able to make it through WrestleMania and even beyond that. Alright, this next one comes from Dead Man Streaking. Hey Aaron, the Divas musical chairs was bad, but do you think it ranks up there with Mae Young in the Hand, or Vince's limo explosion, or the Katie Vick storyline as the worst non-wrestling segment in Raw history? Please answer in video. No, I don't even think it was close to being as notorious as some of those segments. It was very forgettable. I mean, it went so short, too. I mean, it was only like a 5-minute segment, if that. So it didn't go long enough for it to really be one of those memorable bad segments. Although JBL had a funny line when he said that this was the dumbest thing he's ever seen. I was like, amen, JBL. But yeah, I mean, it was, to me, just another Divas throwaway segment, and it was no 2004 musical chair segment. That was a tremendous segment with Ric Flair and Chris Jericho and Tom Cohn, all those guys. I mean, that was a very memorable segment. This one, you know, you can take it and leave it. All right, this one comes from Randall Red. Hey Aaron, with Raw getting the match we actually wanted, with the Wyatts and Shield teaming up against Goldust, Cody, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and the Usos, is it safe to say that Raw is a bigger priority than Survivor Series? Well, there could be several reasons why WWE decided to not have this 12-man tag team match on Survivor Series and have it on Raw instead. It's possible they didn't want to do that elimination match where you have to essentially job out an entire team. You know, they might want to protect the Wyatts or the Shield, because I would figure that the baby faces would go over. So maybe they didn't want to do that and decided just to do this match on Raw where only one guy has to do the job, and that was Dean Ambrose. So, you know, it's hard to say why they did it that way. I just don't get why they had that build-up at the end of Raw and then you don't have that match on the pay-per-view. I mean, that didn't make sense to me, but I'm glad they did have the match and they did it on Raw. I'm sure the matches at Survivor Series will still be really good. CM Punk and Daniel Bryan against the Wyatts. And, I mean, they've been building that up for several weeks. So, I'm fine with that. That should be a good match. And they're still doing a traditional Survivor Series match. That should be really good. It's just the fact that they teased it at the end of Raw. I think that's what has got a lot of people confused, why they did that if they weren't going to have that be a match on the pay-per-view. So, I don't know what the whole story is behind that. And as far as if it's a bigger priority, Raw, than Survivor Series, I think that at this stage of the game, people that are going to buy Survivor Series are going to buy it no matter what's on the card. And it's not like that 12-man match was going to be a huge difference maker. I mean, a lot of people on the internet wanted to see that match, but I don't think if that match took place at Survivor Series, the buy rate was going to be any higher than it's going to be. I mean, the people that are going to buy Survivor Series are going to buy it regardless of what the matches are. All right, this one comes from Hayden Witt 40813. Hey Aaron, who do you think will win on this week's Impact, Mr. Anderson or Bully Ray? Do you think Aces and Eights will be forced to disband, or do you think Mr. Anderson will be forced to leave TNA? Well, Mr. Anderson just signed a new deal with TNA, so I don't think he's going to be losing that match this Thursday night on Impact. In all likelihood, this will be the end of the Aces and Eights faction, and I say thank goodness. I mean, it definitely needs to be put to pasture. And, Aces and Eights was Eric Bischoff's baby. That was his whole idea. He's been a huge fan of bikers for years. I mean, we look back to WCW, and he had the Hog Wild pay-per-views, and, Eric Bischoff always came out on the Harley. So, he's a huge biker enthusiast, and I'm sure a huge fan of Sons of Anarchy, and wanted to have a faction in TNA based off the TV show. He did it. Didn't really get over all that much, and it's time to move on and go in a different direction. So I'm thinking that in all likelihood, unless there's some sort of weird Russo-like swerve, I think that Mr. Anderson beats Bully Ray, and that's the end of Aces and Eights. All right, this one comes from Rocky316. Hey Aaron, what do you think about Big E Langston so far? Do you think he has the potential to be a main event superstar and a WWE World Heavyweight Champion someday? Please answer in video. Greetings from Slovenia. I absolutely think that Big E Langston has a lot of potential. He's got the size, he's got the look that WWE likes, and he had a very positive showing on Raw this week. He won the IC title from Curtis Axel, and that was definitely the right decision because Axel was going nowhere as IC champion, and the crowd was really into Big E, and they popped big when he won the title. So, I mean, so far so good with him, and it could be a big stepping stone. It felt like a big moment when he won the title, like this is the beginning of bigger things to come for him. So, another above average segment for Raw this week, and we'll see where things go. I mean, he's definitely got the momentum, but anything can happen. I mean, you look back to guys like Ahmed Johnson. He won the IC title. It looked like he was on his way to being a top star, and then he kind of fizzled out. So it's still too early to tell how far he'll go, but he's definitely got a lot of potential, and props to WWE for making a big deal out of the title change. All right, that'll wrap it up for this edition of NoDQ&A video. Trying to reach 40,000 subscribers by January 1st, so keep spreading the word. Share this video on Facebook and Twitter. Post a link to the YouTube channel on your Facebook or Twitter. Whatever you can do to help spread the word, go for it. And thank you so much for all your support and helping me reach this goal of 40,000 subscribers. And for those of you still watching the video, I got one more question here from a guy you hear from very often, Kayfabe Candy Ass. And people ask me, why do I always answer this guy's questions? Well, first of all, he sends me like 20 questions a day. I end up having to answer at least one of his questions. At least one of them is passable here. No, I'm kidding. Most of his questions are pretty good, but I like to try to answer as many questions from different people as possible. So, to Kayfabe Candy Ass and WWE Fan 5 and everybody else watching, try to send me one or two really good questions instead of sending me 20, 30 questions hoping I'll answer one of them. Anyways, I am going to answer this one. How much of the Total Divas is scripted? Because that episode where Natty pisses her pants and John Cena admits to shitting himself sounds like it was written by Vince McMahon himself. Most of Total Divas is scripted, and you know, there's a lot of times where it feels like they have to come up with some sort of drama. Otherwise, what's the point of having a TV show if there's no drama? So, you know, there's a lot of this artificial conflicts that you see on the show, and you know, stuff like her pissing her pants and all that, and you know, the John Cena shitting himself, and the funny story with that is apparently Cena's told that story several times, and every time he tells a story, it's a different city where the incident happened. So that's kind of funny. You know, Total Divas is okay for what it is. I mean, it is a reality show by WWE reality standards, and you know, I'm perfectly fine with it as an entertaining show to just watch, to eat lunch or whatever, or kill time. So you know, I don't have any issue with it. But yeah, I mean, most of it. I mean, the acting's not all that good, so I mean that's a giveaway right there that most of it's scripted. I mean, there's a few moments. I'm sure they get stressed out with the cameras being there all the time, and there's moments where they snap, and you know, it is real to a degree. But I mean, most of it is planned out in advance, and you know, there's just too many convenient moments too where you know, okay, this is absolutely scripted. I mean, they set it up for this to happen. So you know, it is what it is. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time for more NoDQ&A video.